I had in my message precautions to keep from having an affair, and I thought it would be good just to read these real quickly. And
I think it'd be great.
Anything jumps off of you.
Yeah.
The first precaution to keep from having an affair is have a healthy fear of the Lord. And I use the example of Joseph when Potiphar's wife makes the move on him, and he says, "How could I sin against the Lord?" Of course, he'd be sinning against Potiphar.
Yep.
But I think having a healthy fear that God's going to hold us accountable to how we're living our lives. I think a lot of times people forget that. There are consequences in this life. You know, you mess with a bull, you're going to get the horns.
Yep. Sin splatters.
Sin splatters. The second thing I wrote down is drink from your own well, and that the grass isn't greener on the other side. The third thing is set proper guardrails in your marriage.
I think that's huge. I just think that's huge. Like, and again, we've talked about this over the years, but I want to reiterate it and just like, you shouldn't be text messaging the other sex. Mm-hmm. Like, so last year we had middle school basketball, and there was a coach. I was coaching the middle school basketball team with another chick, with a lady, and she's 24, 25 years old, and I mean, I started the text message conversation with her with my wife on it. Mm-hmm. So all year long, we texted all the time because you know me, like I want to win. I'm watching tape. I'm doing all this stuff, and I'm practice schedule this.
This is bringing
personnel,
back church basketball.
Oh, dude,
memories.
Personnel, all that stuff. Like all year long, my wife was on every single text message.
Yeah, she could care less about it.
She could care less.
Was on there.
She could care less about it, but it created safety for me.
Sure.
Like it gave me. It kept, I don't know, it's a great feeling. Like, it's a good feeling that your wife knows what's going on. It's a good feeling that you know that she's there. And even when you're talking with the other person, and I'm not saying she was thinking that. That's not what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying it doesn't start the ball rolling. And what you say isn't taken out of context, which I think sometimes can be. And then it leads to, I'm tired. Especially on a text, and you're tired and you say something. And I just think that, I don't think most people start off with the intentions to go have an affair. Mm-hmm. I think most people start off the intentions was just a relationship at work. It's just doing this, just doing that. But like that simple addition of adding your wife to a text message in a thread, and just so they know exactly, you know, where you stand, and it just cuts out some of that stuff that could be a stumbling block. So it's guardrails. It makes it easier, man. Yeah,
I set guardrails in texting, set guardrails in who you go to lunch with, who you ride in a car with, and I joked around about who you're in an elevator with.
Coach Rick didn't. Coach Rick would literally ride an elevator, and if he rode up one floor and a woman stepped on, he stepped off.
The fourth precaution I shared was to protect your eyes from pornography and nudity. And I didn't do any research here, but I would think a lot of men are looking at porn.
I think it's so easy to access. It's so easy to get your hands on, but it's so unrealistic, and it sets you up for failure in so many ways. And I feel bad for these kids because it comes to them now. Mm-hmm. Like, they don't even have to look for it. You know, it's going to pop up as an ad, and you're going to think about things. And I think we've talked about this in the past too, but like having your phone accessible at moments when you're probably the most likely to look at something like that. You know, find ways to get your phone away from you at night, and find ways to keep yourself out of those situations, because a lot of times they'll win, but it's just not real. Like that's one thing you've got to hammer home in your head. Porn isn't real. So when you look at it, you're not looking at something that's real, and you're building expectations now for a wife or for somebody else that they're not going to be able to meet. And so everything about it, man, is destructive, and it seems simple and it seems easy, but you know, as you get older, I think you start to realize it more and more, and realize the impact of it. When you're younger, you don't, and I didn't have a clue, and I would watch it. I mean, I would, being honest, like I just didn't even know anything about it, and you just could click it. You just could click on it and watch it if you wanted to. And then I think as you get older, you start to realize the effects and what it actually means and what you're actually doing, and you should be rethinking that.
Well, I think we see it so much in America, and it's probably this way in many other countries, but you become numb to sin.